Greetings, my dear Fantasistas. Welcome back to your favorite nightly show. And 10 hours to go before the RMR starts in Group B. So let's just dive into it and have a quick look of what to expect. So, straight away, Vitality should be easily beating Game Legion. Um, Mouse versus Guild Eagles. Um, I've seen quite few games of Guild Eagles, and I have to admit, they look like a team that potentially can go 0-3. Unfortunately for them, this is the reality of their current state in this game. In theory, they can come from nowhere and just go like 3-1, but I do not believe that. So for me, Mouse takes this one. Spirit, obviously, after the Katowice run against the Ants, uh, Ants obviously gave it all in Kato, and now I don't know. For me, looks like a W for Spirit. Now Monte versus Static. Monte will play without SDY at least the first game, or maybe the whole day, and this means that SDY probably as a captain, obviously not the in-game leader, but kind of captain of the team, has a lot of impact. And I believe this is a chance for a static, and this could actually work for them. Now Cloud9 against Para. Well, obviously Para is one of those teams that a lot of people talk about in kind of negative colors, like that they might be like using something or they actually like doing 3-2-2, like there's a lot of speculation around them. And against Cloud9, for some reason, I think it can be like 13-0. Because if they actually do like something like that, well, this is actually the score to go for, or like 13-1, 13-2, something like that. So I'll give a W to Cloud9 this one. Now, Apex versus OG. I have no expectations from OG. The current lineup is uh, like probably Face It has some stronger mixes. Like I don't want to be negative, but like it doesn't look like they can do some damage. Like look, no Nexus, Xalo is the only team player that was actually playing at some sort of more or less decent level. Like we can't expect much from them. Para, again, these guys considered as match fixes. Static, well, I'm not saying that they're gonna qualify, but at least they have a chance to go to to second chance qualifier. Guild Eagles, as I already said, they are the ones that can go down pretty badly, and then OG, I don't believe in OG. I have more faith in Prizzy rather than OG. So in a game against uh, Apex, Noke, Jaken, like even Sense can do some damage, right? Like I don't see the same on OG radar, right? Then obviously Astralis should be easy walk for them. Prezi versus Heroic. Now this is the interesting one because if we look at the current Heroic roster, we're gonna see a kind of pretty good team. And obviously, who's gonna be like the main guy? Like Nikados, he can do damage. Tessus can do damage. Shush, like any one of these guys can actually do some damage. So I believe Heroic actually can do some damage here, and I'm gonna take Heroic over here. Now, will Heroic be able to do some damage to Vitality? there is a good chance, especially because it's best of one. Um, Anything can happen, but in general, like I'm going towards not Astralis, but Vitality, kind of convincingly taking this one. Mouse versus a static. Um, I do want to say static have a chance, but I don't think so. For me, Mouse looks like a team that has pretty good chance to go to 2-0 bracket and then just qualify 3-1. Jimmy, Torzi, Shui, like these guys can actually even surprise us and go 3-0, right? So now Spirit versus Astralis. Mm, Obviously, everyone is kind of going on Spirit train, and as we can see, like three of the Spirit players are most picked players. Chopper, nearly half of the teams, like 40% basically. Out of 19k, he's been picked like 7k times. Donk, somehow 4k picked Donk. That's incredible. But in this one, it's in best of one. I kind of think that Astralis have a slight edge. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be the firepower. Like, obviously, Spirit still going to qualify, but for me, Spirit's journey looks like FaZe's journey, right? They just came from Kato, right? Like, obviously, they had few more days to rest. But again, Astralis had a little bit more time to cook, and they've seen what Spirit actually can offer, right? Cloud9 versus Apex. Once again, if Cloud9 were playing against Heroic or Astralis or Spirit, I would have obviously go on the other side of the fence and say that Cloud9 gonna lose. But in this one, I just don't think that Apex have enough firepower to kind of knock down Cloud9. Um, Now the lower side, right? Um, Monte versus Nexus. Hopefully by this time, SDY gonna be there, or even if we won't, I think Monte still have enough firepower to actually beat Nexus. Prezi against OG, I'm gonna go all day long with Prezi over here, even though like when I've been looking at Prezi, I don't see the OPA, and I'm not sure if they have OPA. Who's open on this team? Haltex? Like, or they kind of going Cloud9 route and they play without OP? Because obviously Nikodas was there and he left for Heroic, and now they left without Opa. Like, I think that here OG actually have a chance because they're gonna be playing best of three, not best of three, like some sort of a map, definitely where the sniper will have a big role. If they want, then OG is a joke. And yes, we've been laughing at OG, but still, like, I don't believe in Preza right now. So I have to go with the OG. Game Legion versus Para. I'm picking Game Legion all day long. And Guild Eagles versus Ents. Unlucky Guild Eagles, but I'm picking Ents over here. As I said already, I don't believe in Guild Eagles in this particular scenario. And now, Vitality versus Astralis. This is gonna be probably the best game of the whole RMR, and I have to pick Astralis over here. Um, Other 2-0 game where Mouse will play Cloud9. This is a very unexpected matchup for majority of people, and for me, probably the most, because Cloud9 in current situation, before this RMR started, I thought that Cloud9 might not make it to the major, but obviously with all the experience they have and everything, they have to go at least through the second chance qualifier, and I think they're gonna cook something, and they do have a good chance to actually qualify as 3-0, because if they actually cook something, then this is the time to show and then kind of get prepared for the major. And in terms of what Mouse can offer, I'm surprised that not that many people actually pick in Mouse, right? if we look at the most picked players, only Shui is over there with like 5k picks. Everyone else is kind of being slept on, or maybe it's just the price of the players. Because 208k for Torzi, yeah, 210 for Xertion. I think Xertion is the player that you have to kind of look out, look after, right? Because he might actually surprise. Because they're gonna play Guild Eagles. He can pop on, then against a static, against he can pop up, right? And potentially they can play something like I don't know, new couple of times, and there's a good possibility that he can be the guy, right? Now, again, in a game against Cloud9, uh, Torzi is probably going to be the guy that's, you know, the guy to actually like destroy Cloud9. But once again, I think Cloud9 have actually a good chance to go as 3-0 team. But I still gonna pick Mouse, even though I'm not a big fan of Broland in this lineup. Uh, I think Shui is gonna cook, and Exertion actually have a good chance to do something decent over here, right? Um, Now Spirit against OG. This is easy W for Spirit. And Ants versus Apex. Um, Polish Pride gonna take it down. Um, Static versus Heroic. And on this one, I'm on Heroic side. Game Legion versus Monte. Um, Now again, if SDY gonna be there, then Monte probably gonna take it. If no, then Game Legion. Guild Eagles versus Prezi. I'm afraid that this is the end of glory for Dupree, and this is the 3-0 where like any one of them can actually go 0-3. Like all these four teams in my book are the ones that go in 0-3. But Nexus is probably the team that I expect the least from, and Guild Eagles, I still have some sort of hope, right? So if Para is actually doing 3-2-2, then they're gonna go 0-3 because they should be kind of slightly favorites in this one, but this one is really game to dodge, right? So my 0-3 picks are Prezi and Nexus, and then Guild Eagles gonna play against Para, and in this one, Guild Eagles probably gonna survive. Apex versus Monte, and once again, uh, I do have more faith in Monte in general, but with SDY. Without him, unlucky and GG. Static versus OG. Mm, I believe in Static slightly more. Game Legion Cloud9. I have to give a slight edge to Cloud9. Heroic versus Spirit. Spirit all day long. Vitality versus Ants. Vitality. Now, the elimination. Heroic versus Monte. I'm gonna pick Heroic. Ants versus Static. I think it's time for Ants to actually qualify for this one. And then Game Legion versus Guild Eagles. I have to go with Game Legion. So these are my teams that in my book gonna qualify, right? And these are three teams that gonna go to second chance, right? For some reason, this is what I think. And in second chance, I think if actually what's his name, SDY comes back, then Monte probably gonna have the best chance of qualifying for the second chance. So now with all this said, let me pick my lineup, right? Because I strongly believe in Astralis in this one, right? I gonna go with the Jabi plus. I wanna pick Stavn, but I don't think that he's gonna be the guy, right? I think that Blamef is probably more consistent, and he is the beast, right? So That will leave me with 588. Now, because I have kind of faith in both Mouse and Cloud9, I think these are two teams that I kind of have to go for, right? Boomich or uh, or Shui? That's the question. Exertion, Boomich, and 188. What if I go for Silver Elite Team and just pick Axel and Stown, and actually go for Stabby plus Exertion plus Boomich and Axel? This looks hella delusional, but C9 actually gonna farm Para. Exertion has a good chance to farm Ingles, and Astralis, Stown, and Jabi, they both have a good chance of kinda farming points against Nexus, and then in a game versus Spirit, I want to say that they have a chance to actually fight Dunk. But am I actually believing in this? Or do I still have to go with the on Blame F? Even though device is probably a great option, if I pick Blame F, I have 178k left. Who can I pick? I'm not a big fan of Sense. OG, hell no. What did I say about OG? They're not qualifying. Yep, 1-3. No chance for me picking OG. MSN. Apex 1-3 for me as well. You know what? This makes the most sense, right? Uh, just going for Boomage and Stone, right? Let's hope for the best and ignore the rest. So, um, multi-frag on exertion or entry. Probably entry. Stone and multi-frag. Let's go. Let's hope he's ready for the big games, right? Um, Now, do I want to place any boosters? Assist on exertion, probably he's going to do a lot of damage. Axel against Para. Headshots, probably yes. Boomage, Pharma, definitely. Stone versus Nexus. Trade kills. Jabi. Let's go for his headshot percentages anyway. So, this is my delusional kind of lineup. And you know what? It can work. Because Group A didn't work at all. So let's hope for 25 points in Group B. And yeah, it is what it is. In general, have fun and let's see what happens in Group B. See ya.